Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am currently serving in oil and gas sector and having an experience over 20 years in the field. Preparing different types of analysis and reports using different tools. My today's video is in continuation to the gap analysis tools. Today we will learn about the second tool, SWOT analysis, in detail. I have collected the data and information from a different website to make it more comprehensive for you to watch my video. In gap analysis video only brief information provided. Now we are going to learn in detail. Please watch video till end for clear understanding. You can watch my videos on my channel Think Future Onwards Academy and Resource of Educational Development, RED, separately. You can find the link below in description of this video. There are 6 gap analysis tools to identify and close the gaps in your business. Once you have identified what the gaps are, you need to look into why they exist and what you can do about them. Gap analysis tools you can use for this task are as follows. We already learned about the McKinsey 7S and SWOT analysis video already available on my channel. Today we will learn the third tool, which is Fishbone analysis. The other tools like Pestel analysis, Nadler-Tushman's congruence model and Birkeletwin causal model will be prepared in my upcoming videos. The Fishbone framework is a tool created by Kaoru Ishikawa, a Japanese quality control expert. The method is designed to identify problem causes and divide them into categories. It is also called cause and effect diagram. The Fishbone diagram identifies many possible causes for an effect or problem. It can be used to structure a brainstorming session. It immediately sorts ideas into useful categories. One of the first steps in creating a fishbone diagram is determining the factors that contribute to variations within a process. Ishikawa describes these contributing factors as the 5s, 6M and 7P. I will explain these 6M in my video. We will overview of 5s and 7P only, and I will explain 6M in my video in detail. Here we will look at different industry overviews and I will explain the manufacturing world in details. First, start from the service industry. You can categorize these factors by the 5s, and which are: Number 1. Surroundings. Number 2. Suppliers. Number 3. Systems. Number 4. Skills. Number 5. Safety. Now we'll see the manufacturing world. You can categorize these factors by the 6M, which are: Number 1. Man. Number 2. Machine. Number 3. Method. Number 4. Material. Number 5. Measurement. Number 6. Mother Nature, environment. At last we will see the marketing group. You can categorize these factors by the 7P, which are: Number 1. Product. Number 2. Price. Number 3. Place. Number 4. Promotion. Number 5. People. Number 6. Positioning. Number 7. Packaging. The image above illustrates 6 categories that are used. Ishikawa describes these contributing factors as the 6 milliseconds in the manufacturing world: man, machine, method, material, measurement, and Mother Nature. How to create a fishbone diagram in 3 steps. The first step is to define the problem statement. Create a statement that explains exactly what the problem is, and how and when it occurs. This should be added to the right side of your diagram, as the fish's head. Make sure your team agrees on how the problem is being defined before you dive into exploring causes. Now the second step is to identify categories of causes. What broad categories or areas do potential causes fall into? For example, if you're trying to diagnose a problem with your software product, you might want to look at users, software, or marketing. For a physical product, you might include people, methods, materials, machines, or the environment. Try to keep the number of categories below 10. Third step is to list out the causes. Once you have your categories, it's time to list out all of the individual causes for each bucket. These become the bones of the fish, which you can use as a basis for diagnosing the root cause of your problem. Some groups use the fishbone diagram in conjunction with 5 whys to systematically dig deeper and uncover new potential causes. Last step is to analyze the diagram. Under each category is where you add elements that could impact the process associated with that cause. It's worth noting that each category may also have various sub-causes as well. So make sure while selecting the category. When to use fishbone diagram. This tool is used in order to identify a problem's root causes. Typically used for root cause analysis, a fishbone diagram combines the practice of brainstorming with a type of mind map template. It should be efficient as a test case technique to determine cause and effect. A fishbone diagram is useful in product development and troubleshooting processes, typically used to focus a conversation around a problem. After the group has brainstormed all the possible causes for a problem, the facilitator helps the group to rate the potential causes according to their level of importance and diagram a hierarchy. The name comes from the diagram's design, which looks much like a skeleton of a fish. Fishbone diagrams are typically worked right to left, with each large bone of the fish branching out to include smaller bones, each containing more detail. Following procedure can be followed for fishbone diagram. Point 1. Agree on a problem statement, effect. Write it at the center right of the flip chart or whiteboard. Draw a box around it and draw a horizontal arrow running to it. Point 2. Brainstorm the major categories of causes of the problem. If this is difficult, use generic headings like methods, machines, equipment, people, manpower, materials, measurement, environment. Point 3. Write the categories of causes as branches from the main arrow. Point 4. Brainstorm all the possible causes of the problem. Ask why does this happen? As each idea is given, the facilitator writes it as a branch from the appropriate category. Causes can be written in several places if they relate to several categories. Point 5. Again, ask why does this happen, about each cause. Write sub-causes branching off the causes. Continue to ask why, and generate deeper levels of causes. Layers of branches indicate causal relationships. Point 6. When the group runs out of ideas, focus attention to places on the chart where ideas are few. As I highlighted at the start of my video that we will get into details of fishbone diagram 6M explanation for manufacturing industry, let's start from Point 1. Manpower, the operational or functional labor of people engaged in the design and delivery of a product. This is considered a fairly rare cause of a given problem. Typically, if manpower is identified as a cause of an unwanted effect, it's often a factor of another 6M. This category is for anything related to the manpower associated with the process. Operators are the most common group in this category, but it can also include maintenance teams, quality control specialists and supervisors. Potential causes in this category may include the operator training not completed, employee can't physically see defect, and maintenance team used incorrect tool, etc. Point 2. Method A, production process and its contributing service delivery processes. Frequently, processes are found to have too many steps, sign-offs, and other activities that don't contribute or create much value. When not streamlined, simplified and standardized, processes can be confusing and hard to follow. This category is for process documents and instructions. Here is where you would review any instructions used during the process being evaluated. Look at whether the instructions accurately describe the process, if they prevent a defect from occurring, or even whether a picture is clear enough. Examples of causes here could be: instruction book is not available at site, instructions didn't plan for this defect, and instructions aren't enough to complete the task. Point 3. Machine, systems, tools, facilities, and equipment used for production. Often, machines, tools and facilities with their underlying support systems are mismanaged or incapable of delivering a desired output due to technical or maintenance issues. This category is for all elements related to the machines used in a process. Depending on the process, this category could capture anything. Some examples of causes in this category are preventative maintenance schedule not followed, broken or missing parts on the machine, lost, machine doesn't have correct tool head for fixing. Point 4. Material. Raw materials, components, and consumables needed to produce a desired end product. Materials are often mismanaged by way of being incorrectly specified, mislabeled, stored improperly, out of date, among other factors. This category captures the materials involved in a given process. Whether raw materials or inspection materials such as soapy water sprayed on a tire to detect leaks, anything added during a process can impact quality. In this area of the fishbone, you review every material that goes into a process to weigh its potential impact. Potential factors in this category include: on the basis of material defectiveness, part number called out does not match part number being used, and material feature out of tolerance. Point 5. Mother Nature, environment. Environmental factors that are unpredictable and uncontrollable, like weather, floods, earthquakes, fire, etc. While many environmental factors are predictable and can be considered manageable, there are some unavoidable environmental factors that some facilities find they are not prepared for. This category is for relevant external factors at different points in the production process, including storage and the work area itself. For example, you might consider environmental temperature, humidity, or pressure when searching for a root cause. Problems in the plant that prevent consistent environmental conditions could be the source of your troubles. Here you might find problems in areas such as air conditioning, vent blows on gauge, altering reading, hole in roof lets rainwater fall onto material racks, and open windows allow wind to blow over tables and stands. Point 6. Measurement. Manual or automatic inspections and physical measurements, distance, volume, temperature, pressure, etc. At times, measurements can be inconsistent, making it hard to use the data to form repeatable conclusions that help nail down a consistent cause. This category of the fishbone diagram captures any techniques used to measure whether a part or process meets the desired quality standards. You might include information on scales, vision systems, or human inspectors here, as well as sub-causes such as scale doesn't function properly and measuring tool broke off or is missing. Fishbone diagram. 5 whys and explanation. Once all inputs are established on the fishbone, you can use the 5 whys technique to drill down to the root causes. Fishbone diagram and 5 whys. For example, your car stops in the middle of the road. Why 1. Why did your motor stop? Answer is because it ran out of fuel. Why 2. Why did it run out of fuel? Answer is because I didn't buy any fuel on my way to work. Why 3. Why didn't you buy any fuel this morning? Answer is because I didn't have any money. Why 4. Why didn't you have any money? Answer is because I lost it all last night in a club game. Why 5. Why did you lose your money in last night's club game? Answer is because I'm not very good at bluffing when I don't have a good hand. All the questions should correlate. Each answer to a why question forms the basis of the next question. Important points while developing a fishbone diagram. You should keep the following points in mind while developing a fishbone diagram. You should have a clear understanding of the problem. Team members should be experienced and involved with the problem. The discussion should be focused and moderated by the project manager. Think of all possible causes for each factor and add them to the bone. If any bone is bulky, try to split it into 2 or 3 branches. We are going to discuss the major benefits of a fishbone diagram. Number 1. Focus on a cause, rather than symptoms. Using a fishbone diagram helps teams truly get to the heart of why something is occurring, instead of simply describing the situation and mistaking secondary causes for the root cause. Number 2. See all potential causes at a glance. A fishbone diagram displays multiple causes, ordered logically, in a visual manner. All stakeholders can explore and understand how they fit together holistically. Number 3. Create a prompt for brainstorming. Many teams use a fishbone diagram as a jumping-off point for a structured brainstorming exercise, to generate a large number of potential ideas about what the root cause could be. Number 4. Focus everyone around the root cause. Instead of identifying the causes of a problem independently, a fishbone diagram enables the team to focus on working together, analyzing, and prioritizing different possibilities until they land on the root cause. Limitations of a fishbone diagram. The following are a few limitations of a fishbone diagram. A fishbone diagram does not single out the root cause of the problem because all causes look equally important. Effort can be wasted on identifying causes that have little effect on the problem. A fishbone diagram is based on opinion rather than evidence. This process democratically selects the cause, which is not an effective process. If the discussion is not controlled, you could get incorrect results. The worthiness of a fishbone diagram depends on the expertise of team members. If they are not experienced and skilled, finding the root cause of the problem will be difficult. Advantages of fishbone diagrams. Number 1. Helps identify cause and effect relationships. Number 2. Helps develop in-depth joint brainstorming discussion. Number 3. Works well with the 5 whys to drill down to a root cause quickly. Number 4. Helps prioritize relevant causes, allowing you to address underlying root causes. Disadvantages of fishbone diagrams. Number 1. Irrelevant potential causes can cause confusion. Number 2. Complex issues may lead to a messy diagram. Number 3. Lends itself to the divergent approach. Number 4. Based on opinion rather than evidence, it needs testing to prove results. While developing the diagram, these tips will helpful for you. Tip 1. Organize an appropriate team to undertake the task of creating a fishbone diagram. Add team members from multiple areas that are involved, either directly or indirectly. Tip 2. Clarify the major cause categories. The 6M are a good starting point and can encompass a lot of causes, keeping them classified and organized. However, make sure you get more detailed as you fill out your diagram for clarity's sake. Tip 3. Don't forget the 5 whys technique when you're analyzing your fishbone diagram. Asking why helps get to the root cause more quickly. Tip 4. Consider a multi-voting technique to help identify the root cause from everyone's ideas. This might look like each team member identifying their top 3 root causes. Consider other cause and effect techniques if your problem looks like it's becoming too complex for a fishbone diagram. Conclusion. A fishbone diagram is a vital tool in identifying the root cause of a problem. Although using it is time-consuming, the benefits are enormous. This tool helps you remove the root cause of the problem and develop an understanding among team members. You use the fishbone diagram with a critical problem because you cannot spend much time on every small issue. Do you use fishbone diagrams in your project? What categorizations have you used and what was your experience? Please share your experiences in the comments sections. Feedback. I hope you enjoyed this video, and before leaving, if you have not already subscribed this channel, make sure to subscribe, like and hit the bell icon to get updates when I post new videos. Provide your feedback in comments. Join social media on following links.